Let's see. Hi, everyone. So I wanted to wait just a little bit for people to just start coming inside of here and joining us. Thank you guys so much for, kind of pivoting a little bit. We were definitely having some technical difficulties this morning. Technology is always, you know, a thing, so I'm just going to wait a little bit longer to get started. And so that way people can join in and then we'll get started. Let's see. So for those of you who maybe are just joining on this YouTube Live, you didn't catch my introduction on Instagram, I wanted to introduce myself. So my name is Stella DiGiovanni. I'm an educator with Covet and Maine. I've been with Covet and Maine for 2-3 years almost now, and I really do love the company, the brand, all things Covet. Honestly, I love the team. Everyone is so amazing, and I love that we all come together to really share knowledge and value and are really truly here for the hair industry. So that being said, I am the owner of Comey Hair Salon and Comey Education System. So I am a educator, I'm a business coach, and I became a business coach because of all the things that I did wrong when first opening a salon. And I realized that there was a need for guidance in the salon industry for salon owners. I'm also an educator. I am a science-based hairstylist. I love, love, love teaching. I love the ins and outs, fully detailed education, not just surface type like look and learns. I want you to know the whys behind everything, whether it be in hairstyling or even in business. So I want to empower people to make their own decisions, make sure they are making educated decisions. So that's my whole spiel. That's my whole shtick. That's just my jam. That's who I am. And today what we're going to be going over is navigating the process, the transition from being a hairstylist and stepping into your power as a salon owner, CEO of your business, and working less behind the chair. I know that how hard that can be. I know all the emotions involved. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I used to say, if you're a salon owner, I truly believe you need to be behind the chair more because you need to know, you need to be in the trenches. But here's the thing. When you're in the trenches, you can't see the strategy from a higher perspective. So I have been operating in the way I was just explaining for a very long time. And I was like, I can do it all. I can do it all. Just keep trucking. I was nervous to lose the revenue of what I brought into my business, and so that was one of the biggest fears I had. And so I want to talk about all of these things and how to transition and make sure that not only does your salon stay profitable, even without you behind the chair as much, but also making sure that, your standard of service is maintained as a salon owner. Okay, so we're going to talk about the training programs we utilize. We're going to talk about how to manage the team expectations, what one-on-one meetings look like, what do the leadership roles look like, how to communicate your new role to clients, because I know that's a really, really, really hard conversation, and how to transition, really, truly transition into this new role. And then also what I have seen in business and what my salon has been able to achieve by me truly stepping back from behind the chair. And like I said before, I know how hard this can be. It is one of the hardest things to do as a salon owner, and I resisted it for a very long time, but I have now kind of entered into my new era as the CEO of my business, and I have had a lot of success in this over the past 6 months, and I'm able to have clarity on where my business goes and what it needs, especially in times like this where, people are a little bit penny pinching. They're questioning if someone's worth the price. It is a different industry right now. And for those of you who don't know, I actually started my career during 2008. So I have already been through what it feels like, something similar. So I want to really give you guys all the details, or at least as much as I can in this session, for you guys to be educated on your decisions and go forward with confidence. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So I have been behind the chair for 15 years or more. a little, maybe 15 years right about now. Okay. I opened my salon, this location, about 3 years ago. This is a brick and mortar location. We have about 7 chairs. But Comey Salon has technically been in business for 8 years. So, and before that, I actually had Studio 989. That was my previous business name, but I have been a business owner without being an employee for about 10 years now. Okay, so I've been doing this a long time. I love being behind the chair, actually, but I also love making an impact and making sure that my business, it can succeed and I could lead and also have my dream life. So recently, I've reduced my days behind the chair about maybe a year and a half ago. I went from 5 days a week from behind the chair to 4 days a week behind the chair. And then after about 6 months, I transitioned that to about 3 days a week, one week, and then 4 days the next week. And, this is what I did up until about 6 months ago. And it was definitely, I got a lot more back, a lot more time back. But I was realizing that I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many things I still have to do. And I could never feel like I was catching up. I always felt like there was something more. So what I did is I really took a second and for 1 month, I wrote down everything I was supposed to be during the week as a salon owner, all of the tasks, how long they take, what I wasn't finishing, what I couldn't get to. And I realized at that point, being a salon owner and a CEO, what we have to do as well as being behind the chair, it put me into a 90-hour a week is what my workload was, because I was doing admin as a CEO and also being behind the chair. And I realized something had to change. I also noticed there was things happening in my business, like reduced, like we weren't getting as many calls, we weren't doing all those things. And I was like, what is going on? But I did not have the time or the capacity to try to truly research and understand what was going on. So that being said, I made a drastic decision and I went, you know what? I'm going to go down 6 to 6 days a month behind the chair. I need to do this for my business. I need to do this for my team. And I want to be able to truly make sure that my salon is as successful as possible for myself and as also for my team. So that being said, a lot of people ask me, so when they come and do a shadow day with me, a lot of salon owners do that, or a VIP work day, they come and they see my salon in action. They see the way my team works, how they operate. And one of the number one things that the salon owners always tell me is, literally every single one, I am shook at the way they operate. They are like a machine, like they are all helping each other. They come in, they do all of the opening duties, all of the closing duties. Everyone works as a team. And wow, they go above and beyond. How did you clone everyone essentially to be able to provide the service that you're doing, and not cloning like removing individuality, but cloning is in a way where people are working together and they all are doing similar things when it comes to guest experience and opening duties. It's very fair. So my training program for that starts when they first get hired. Okay, so I want to talk about that. And because I do have really, really high standards in my business for the way we operate, because we are a guest experience focused salon. I truly believe in a elevated guest experience. And that happens not from feeling messy everywhere, people doing different things. Consistency is one of those things for a luxury guest experience. So let's talk about that. So when they first get trained, okay, so we have a resource for every single thing in the business. Resource meaning a standard operating procedure, an SOP. Okay, so what we have is we have everything laid out, from consultation verbiage to answering the phone verbiage to all of the things that are required to remain consistent. So they start with doing the front desk so they understand all the services, how to answer the phone. We have a digital education platform as well that they go through, they watch, and then they take a test out, and then we test out in person as well. Now, we do have a educator who is the new hire educator. So this is a person that in your team that I would think about if I were you as a salon owner. Who is the rule follower in your team? Who is the one that would stress out if a rule was not being followed to the T? who is willing to give feedback and course correct, that should be your new hire trainer, because they're going to make sure that they are doing things right and they will not give them a little wiggle room. I always say start a little bit more like, these are the rules, this is what it is, and then you can relax later. I noticed when I one time decided to be more lax about that onboarding approach, there was no consistency. Things weren't happening, and my team was getting frustrated with the new hires because we had relaxed a little bit, because we had feedback that it was a little much. But then we realized that it wasn't a little much. It was just that maybe it was not easy to operate and do things a certain way. But once you figure it out, it's fine. It's everyone loves it now. So it just was, you want to make sure you're hiring for the right people as well, that also care about details, that are really willing to open up their mind and just kind of absorb what we do and see how it can work for them. So my educator, my new hire trainer, goes through and makes sure that she walks through every single thing in my business and how we do it. We also have something called a feedback form, that when we have a new hire, or even whenever, we're supposed to have a debrief at the end of the day, meaning we talk about what went well, what could be improved, and ask the assistant or co-stylist or new hire, what did you learn today? Okay. And then give them feedback. So that's an immediate course correct. And we have documentation of it. So we make sure that they're truly understanding what we need from them. And they're really understanding how we operate as a team. Okay, so that is one of the biggest things, is making sure you have a list of things that people need to test out on and the way they need to test out on it. What is required of them? I highly recommend writing out your SOPs, so that way it's used as a resource and people can study when they're new hires, so that way they truly can be an active member of your team. So managing team expectations. Okay. So how do I handle one-on-ones? Do I handle them? Do management handle them as a leadership position? So for one-on-ones, I actually handle the monthly one-on-ones and the quarterly one-on-ones. As the mentor in my salon, I love being the one to do this, because I can give feedback, I can check in, see how my employees are doing, and just truly make sure that they're still aligned and they're working towards their goals, and they can ask me for any advice or feedback. Now, if you have a leadership team, and a leadership team should be those who uphold your company standards through and through. You can have your leadership do your monthly one-on-ones. I prefer to still do the quarterly and half-year ones, because there's a lot more involved. And as a salon owner, being through the industry and doing everything from being a commission stylist to booth renter to suite owner to salon owner, I truly feel like I have a lot of knowledge to share with them. So, I truly love doing those, and I'm a coach as well. And I highly recommend, if you are a salon owner, going to become certified in being a coach, because it honestly has helped me so much really understand people more, and really be able to coach them in a positive light. So the next thing we want to talk about when it comes to transitioning from being behind the chair is the client transition. So the client transition, meaning like you have to tell your clients that you are going to lower your schedule. So, what I do to ensure that we're doing this is, first and foremost, I start to pair my co-stylist with me that might be taking over my client, or introduce the stylist that will be taking over them a couple months in advance. Okay, so they're working right next to me when certain clients. I'm very strategic about everything I do in my business. So I will start, if I think that a co-stylist will be ready to take this client on, I will start having them with me whenever I'm doing that client, so the client gets to know them through and through. I can make sure that they vibe. I can make sure that the co-stylist knows everything I do, and I ensure that I write all detailed notes, even placements in the client's profile. So that way I'm setting up my team for success to take them over. Okay, so when I did this, I did this in a strategic manner, a couple months in advance, right? So that way the clients feel more comfortable. Okay, so what I had to do is, when I communicated to my clients, in the direct communication, when I had the conversation with them, was this: Hi, Susie. I just want you to know. So, I have made a change in my business. And when they're in their chair, just tell them in person. I find that that is going to go over much better. I'm really excited, but I'm transitioning my role from being behind the chair to being a salon owner. I truly trust Jessica, is able to service your hair, make sure that you get the same experience that you got with me. And, I know that you guys vibe. But thank you so much for staying within my business and being willing to try. Jessica, just know I'm always here. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm always here. So I will see you more. I'll be able to talk to you more and not be so distracted as being the salon owner and a stylist. How do you feel about that? Are you okay? Would you like to stay with Jessica? And obviously that is not in front of Jessica, right? Or is there another team member on my team that you are wanting to go to? I'm open to anyone. But again, because of my training systems that I have in advance, my clients trust me. They know that everybody has been trained the certain way, the Comey way. So they don't feel nervous. I've actually had people tell me this, that I love that I can go to any stylist in your salon and I know that I will get a consistent result. It might not be you exactly, but the result is technically going to be the same because I know you train everyone and you're really hands-on with them. So it made them feel really comfortable. So that's the biggest thing, is making sure that your clients know that you are educating your stylist, making sure that they know that you are holding them to a standard, making sure they know that there's a training program. Feature that on your page, talk about it in advance so that they know that you're gearing up for something, right? And if they're a great client, they're going to be excited for you. Okay. So they know how stressed you are. I guarantee you, when I made this transition, so many of my clients were like, "Girl, it's about time. Like, I can see that you're tired. You're like working through." And I was like, "Oh my God." When they told me that, I was kind of like, shoot, I should have done this way before, right? So that's really, really important, that to know that your clients might be seeing you getting burnt out, and that's not a good feeling. So to me, you should do this before you're in that position, right? So that being said, let's talk about your new role. What are you able to focus on in your new role? So you're able to focus on leadership in your team, growth, and education on your team. Okay. And this was really important for me to focus on these things in my new role, because, you know, your business is made up of people who make your business what it is, right? So I wanted to make sure that our training systems were being updated, have been really we have been adjusted to what's going on in my business now. Like, I created my education platform and my training program, 2-3 years ago. So things have changed. So now I'm able to update things in my business. But also for education, I have more time to grade. I have more time to pour into my stylist, make sure that they can ask me questions at any point. Okay, so I love that part, but also I have loved being able to look at my business like a business, of having time to really look at the numbers, at what's going on in the industry, the trends, financial trends, what is going on, so that I can make sure that I'm marketing and pivoting to the right people and making sure that my business does stay profitable, especially when it feels like a lot of times right now people are starting to maybe hold back some monies, right? They're starting to penny pinch a little bit. So I think we see it across the board, but there's obviously people who they don't see that, but that's okay. But I think a lot of the industry is seeing that. So it's been able to give me a bird's eye view and going, okay, what do we need to do to pivot to make it through this time? Right. So I'm able to look, I've refined all my SEO, my search engine optimization, updated my website. I have started blogs so people get more emails, value tips, things like that. I've been able to take an ad class to try and make sure that we are staying relevant in our area, because we are higher price pointed. So we have to work a little bit harder to get a client in the chair. Okay. So that's really important to me, because if we don't have full books, then my team's not successful and then the salon's not successful. So now what I'm being able to do as well is monitor our finances, our revenue, our profit and loss statement much closer to see what is going on in our business. And that is really important, to see what's working and what's not working, and identify holes before they get bigger. So to wrap this all up, I want to share with you the final piece of advice I have for salon owners that are interested in working less behind the chair, stepping into their power as a salon owner. My biggest piece of advice is to remember that you are a CEO of your business. You are the chief operate executive officer of your business. You are the decision maker in your business. You are responsible as a salon owner, not to be a hairstylist, but you are responsible to ensure that your team, your salon, everyone is happy, your salon is profitable, and you are filling the books of your business and making sure that it is the salon that you've always dreamed of. So that is super, super important for you to remember that you are no longer a stylist. Technically, when you open a salon, you are a salon owner. And in order to make sure that your salon is the most successful it can possibly be, it's time to step into your power. Be the salon owner, work behind the chair to fill your cup up and be creative a few days a week, just if you want, or don't at all. And really remember that you are the leader, you are the bus driver of your salon bus, and you need to make sure that your bus gets to where it's supposed to be going. But anyway, guys, I thank you so much for streaming in. I really appreciate everyone. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm an open book salon owners. I'm stella.comeyhair on Instagram. If you don't know me, again, my name is Stella DiGiovanni, and it's stella.komi hair. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next training, and I look forward to the next time, and have a great week.